We often think that you must force and push the body to a stretch in order for it to become flexible, and this simply is not true. Why? Because biomechanically, your body is designed to lengthen with the appropriate movements, with the appropriate actions. Therefore, it is completely unnecessary and quite dysfunctional to arbitrarily stretch the body out. What we should be working more towards as yoga teachers is helping our students to properly instigate actions in the body in order for the body to become flexible. And I'm going to share with you one of the best ways that you can help your students do this in their practice. Your body is so smart. It is designed by nature to lengthen to the degree that it needs to when it is coupled with supportive action and activation. And I will give you a prime example of what that is. If you were to take something in your hand and you were to bring it up to your face to eat it, if your body did not have a built-in system which allowed your bicep to contract while simultaneously lengthening your tricep, you would not be able to get that food into your mouth. This is a super basic thing to understand that can be applied to every single yoga pose. And what we end up doing as teachers is that we dishonor the body. We don't understand that the body is designed to become flexible, functionally flexible, not dysfunctionally flexible, which a lot of yoga poses really promote dysfunctional flexibility. But if you're invested in that functional flexibility and a more sustainable, nourishing, accessible approach to yoga asana, then understanding this biomechanical principle is really going to help you in your classes. The body is designed to naturally be lengthened via active strengthening. Again, this is a movement where the strengthening and the activation of this, the actioning of I want to get this food into my mouth, will naturally create a willing lengthening of the tissues on that opposing side. And the great thing is that because the action is fueled by the activation of this muscle, then it's not just overly stretching this muscle. It is creating more of a functional lengthening, which means there's still a little bit of tone that's necessary in that area of the body to make sure that the body doesn't go into dysfunction. And this is a really important component to teaching yoga asana to your students in a much more sustainable way. You do not need to force your body or encourage your students to force their body into a position in order for the body to become lengthened, in order for the tissues to become lengthened and the body to become functionally flexible. Now, one of the best ways that you can help your students do this in their practice is to go hands-free. Any pose where the hands are involved in bringing the body into a particular position, get rid of them. Don't use them. Instead, instruct your students to go hands-free. Guide them towards using their internal strength instead of their external force. For example, a hamstring stretch. So often we use the hands to pull, push, force, and shove the body into a hamstring stretch. Now, all you need to do is create some activation through the opposing area of the hamstrings, which is the quadricep muscles, the front of the legs there, and the front of the body in some capacity, and then start to work that leg against a force, against gravity in some way. And this will create the willing lengthening of the tissues through the back of the leg in a much more functional approach. Another example is a spine twist. You don't need to get your students to press their elbow on their thigh and push and shove the body into a spine twist. No, get rid of the hands, get rid of the way the hands externally force the body into a stretch, and instead get your students to be able to connect with what it is that they can do, the type of twist that they can create without using the external extremities to force and shove the body into a position. If you are invested as a yoga teacher in helping your students create a much more sustainable, nourishing practice that is also more inclusive and empowering for them, start to take asana and go hands-free. Look at poses where the hands play a big role in forcing the flexibility and start to instruct your students not to do that. I have so many great videos on this, so make sure you check out my channel for more if you're interested, and subscribe to my channel for more yoga teacher tips just like this.